missiles are streaking across the night sky. Sirens scream through cities. Families run for shelter. Across the
Would we survive these?
Middle East, tensions are rising again. But what if this conflict is not just another war? What if the world is slowly moving toward a prophecy written more than 2,500 years ago? A prophecy about a massive alliance of nations. A prophecy about a final attack on Israel. And a prophecy that says God Himself will intervene. The ancient words are found in Ezekiel chapter 38. But here is the question that has unsettled historians, theologians, and world leaders alike. Are we witnessing the early stages of that prophecy right now? To understand the mystery, we must go back thousands of years, long before modern nations existed, before missiles, satellites, and world powers. A prophet named Ezekiel recorded a message that many people would one day call one of the most mysterious prophecies in the Bible. But the story does not begin with war. It begins with a promise. The Jewish people once lived in the land of Israel, but in 70 AD, Jerusalem was destroyed. The mighty Roman Empire crushed the city. The temple burned. The streets were filled with smoke and rubble. And the Jewish people were scattered across the world: Europe, Africa, Asia. For nearly 2,000 years, the nation of Israel did not exist. It survived only in memory, in prayers whispered by generations of exiles. Yet centuries earlier, the prophet Ezekiel had written these astonishing words: "I will gather you from the nations and bring you back into your own land." At the time, it seemed impossible. How could a nation disappear for thousands of years and then return? But history took an extraordinary turn. In 1948, after centuries of exile, the modern nation of Israel was reborn. Yet hours after declaring independence, war erupted. 5 neighboring nations invaded: Egypt, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, Jordan. The newborn nation was vastly outnumbered, outgunned, surrounded. By every military calculation, Israel should have been destroyed. Yet somehow, it survived. To many believers, this moment looked like the beginning of an ancient prophecy unfolding. But Ezekiel's prophecy does not stop with Israel's return. It describes something even more dramatic: a future invasion, a massive alliance of nations gathering against Israel. The prophecy begins with a mysterious command: "Son of man, set your face against Gog of the land of Magog." The identity of Gog has puzzled scholars for centuries. Many believe Gog represents a powerful ruler, a leader commanding a vast coalition. And this coalition would come from far to the north of Israel. Ezekiel lists several nations: Persia, Cush, Put, Gomer, and the house of Togarmah. To ancient readers, these names sounded distant and mysterious. But today, many historians associate them with regions that include Iran, Sudan, Turkey, and territories north of Israel, often linked with Russia. For centuries, these connections seemed like distant speculation. But in recent years, something remarkable has been happening. Military alliances between several of these nations have begun to strengthen. Cooperation, strategic partnerships, shared military operations. At the same time, tensions in the Middle East continue to rise. Missile strikes, drone attacks, cyber warfare. Cities like Tel Aviv and Haifa have faced direct threats. And across the region, the possibility of a larger conflict continues to grow. Ezekiel described the invading forces like this: "You will advance against my people Israel like a cloud that covers the land. Imagine it. Thousands of troops, jets roaring through the sky, missiles launching from distant territories, and overwhelming force moving toward a small nation. The moment would appear hopeless, but then the prophecy takes a shocking turn. Israel does not win the battle through military power. Instead, God Himself intervenes. Surely in that day there shall be a great earthquake in the land of Israel. Confusion spreads through the invading armies. Chaos erupts. Weapons fail. Soldiers turn against one another. Disaster falls on the attackers. Ezekiel even describes the aftermath, the cleanup of the battlefield lasting 7 months. A war so devastating that the world cannot ignore it. But the prophecy was never only about war. It was about revelation. Ezekiel wrote, "The nations will know that I am the Lord." In that moment, human pride fades, powerful armies fall silent, and the world realizes that history is not controlled by nations alone, but by God. Imagine standing there, watching the sky filled with smoke, the earth trembling, the army scattered, and suddenly realizing something terrifying and beautiful. God has